Hi guys, and welcome back to Hairdryer Treatment. Ladies in Red is back. Back to the Sunday morning time, which I actually really like because we all sit here with a cuppa, chilling, like you guys should be at home as well. I hope you're all doing wonderfully well, and I'm joined by two fantastic guests as always. I'll start with you, Nicole. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm just there.
Just chilling.
Just chilling.
Yeah, Emma, how are you doing today? You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I got Carl to take the little baby out because he'd just be a nightmare in the morning. So he took the baby to the park.
Oh, bless. So you got a bit of peace and quiet for a little bit then.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with the obvious one, talking about the new shirt. So as you can see, I've got it on here. Everyone in the chat, let me know what you think about it. I'll be honest, I think it's a bit of a grower. At first, I was like, it just doesn't wow me. I don't think it's horrible, but I'm not mad on it. And I still kind of feel that, but it does look nicer in person. I think it looks nicer on. I'll start with you, Emma, on this one. I mean, what's your take on the new home shirt?
I mean, when it first was rumoured out, I was like, oh no, everyone was saying it looks like a bus seat. I agreed. I was like, oh no, it doesn't look good. And then I seen it on the players when they had the last game, and I was like, do you know what? It actually looks good on. It's grown on me. I actually really like it now. So yeah, I can't wait to get it.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, it's tradition for me. Whether I loved it or hated it, I always get the home shirt. I have to every season. Like, it's just my thing. I collect them. So I was getting it regardless. But I think once it arrived and I looked at it, I saw United Way. John is in the chat and he said the Prem print is the one. I have got the Prem print on it. I've got the Rashford going on.
Dr. Rashford.
Yeah, Dr. Rashford. I missed the doctor off. You pointed that out to me in WhatsApp chat. I know. But yeah. I like I do like the European font, but obviously I think you can't go wrong with the typical Premier League. I do think I'll probably get European on the away shirt, or maybe if we release a European top. But yeah, it's all right. It's nicer in person, like I say. I thought when the players wore it looked a bit washed out on the pitch. I don't know if you felt the same, but from a distance you couldn't really see the yellow flag. It wasn't like a bright red, was it? It looked like a faded red. But Nicole, what's your take on it?
I'm the same as you two. Like, when I seen it, I was just like, no, Knight is sitting on a bus going Piccadilly Gardens or something. But I'm looking at you now, and also when I've seen them playing in it, I think it looks better on. I think it's something that needs to be appreciated on. I'm not sure about the font, so like you, I'd probably go with the Prem one. But then again, like you said, it's a show, and for me, it don't matter how much I look at it and be like, oh no, that's not a bit of me. That I'm still gonna get it. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I seen someone put on Twitter the other day, which was a very good point. The last time everyone ridiculed our kit so much was the tabletop one, and we won title number 20. So maybe it's a good omen. Who knows?
Yeah. What's the like, Soph?
Is it like the blue one?
Is it
kind of? It's kind of, but it's also like I can't show you on camera, but there's bits of like tiny little air holes, and it says Manchester United within it.
All right.
Yeah. So like close up, you'll be able to see it obviously when you get the shirt, but it says Manchester United and little fine like little air holes going across it. So it's like a thinner material. It's a nice material. It's a nice fit shirt, to be honest with you. Because I think some of them can make you sweat even more, can't they? Because of the thick material. Like, this is quite thin. It's quite nice. A bit like that blue one I thought was really comfortable a few years ago. It does remind me of that shirt a little bit.
Yeah, I still wear that. I just want to touch that.
Yeah. George says, I'm waiting to get a number 7 shirt. So if you know what, last time I did that, Di Maria, I had him on the back of my shirt, and I tend to jinx players, so I stayed away from the whole Sancho thing because I just didn't want to jinx it, to be honest with you. But of course, having Sancho as number 7, I think is going to be a very popular choice. Hopefully that turns out to be the case. But yeah, I was tied between Martial and Rashford, to be honest. But I felt because of what Rashford did off the pitch, I think it was quite appropriate to have him on this one. I'll probably have Martial on another one. I also really wanted Greenwood, but I can't see Greenwood staying at such a high number. Do you know? I'm really scared. What if he changes his number? So I feel a bit scared about that.
I'm waiting for when the numbers come
Always
out.
Wait.
I really want Greenwood, and I got a feeling he might change his number.
Yeah, exactly. I can't see him staying in a high number for a while, so that's what just kept me away from it. But I would love a Greenwood shirt. Ryan, thank you so much for the super chat. Says good morning, ladies. Where's Megan? Megan has actually, I know she's been away. I know it's her sister's birthday. I think she's been out celebrating with family, so she's not here today, unfortunately. She said she's going to try and tune in from the chat, though. And she also said, because she likes this game, let us know where you are watching from. I've seen the Philippines are in the chat already. I love that. Let us know where you are watching from as well, because that's something that we like to take an interest in.
And what time it is. Let us know what time it is.
Yeah, let us know what time it is. We're still half asleep here because it's still morning, and I don't think any of us are like morning girls, are we? So I'm a bit like stressing this morning. Didn't realise the time, but we're here. Greenwood number 11, says Jose. I said that. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Greenwood getting number 11. Do you think that would suit him, though? Because obviously he's been playing out wide. He can play centrally as well. We saw Martial getting number 11 not long ago. I'll start with you, Nicole. Could you see Greenwood maybe taking up the number 11?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I think with Greenwood at his age and the way that he plays, I think the sky's the limit, really. He's very versatile. And if anyone can carry it off, he can. So I don't see why. I don't doubt him, but at the same time, I'm not putting too much pressure on him because I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that again. So yeah, he could be all right, couldn't he?
Yeah, exactly. 1:40 here in the USA. Wow. Sydney, what, 6:36 p.m. No, that's a nice time, that is, isn't it? 6:36 p.m. a nice evening. So you're settling down for your evening there, whereas we're just waking up, which is madness. But we've mentioned Sancho number 7. I mentioned I didn't want to jinx the shirts and whatnot, but as usual, we're dragging this transfer saga. I'm literally chilling. I've stayed calm about the whole thing. I'm not getting sucked in. I refuse to get sucked in because we've been let down so many times in the past. So I'm trying to not get sucked into it. But I've still got that strong feeling that Sancho will end up at United. It's just a matter of time until that happens. But I'll start with you, Nicole. How confident are you that he will come to Old Trafford?
I am confident. I think we said, was it last week or the week before, that we've just got this gut instinct that it is going to happen, but I'm just going to stop looking at things because, was it on Friday when it was the 7th? I'm like, right, it's the 7th, the sun's shining, you're going to sign in at 7 o'clock. And then after I was just like, boo. So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm like, do you know what? I don't care how long it takes. Just get the job done. They're both playing hardball. It's a big money deal, as Fabrizio, we see tweeting, has said. It's not just going to like, oh, yeah, it's a tenner, mate. All right, sorted, nice one. It's going to take time, but that's not to say that I'm not getting annoyed by it, because it's always the same saga with us, which is all the more reason to just stay calm. We had all this with Fernandez, and look how that turned out. So fingers crossed. And I do think we'll get there eventually.
I think it's one of me. You have to put your trust in Ed Woodward, which isn't the easiest thing to do, is it? But yeah, to want to comment, my daddy's in the chat. He said the Wolves shirt is better. The new Wolves shirt, actually, it's not better at all because it's got Wolves on it for one. But the new Wolves shirt is quite smart, to be honest with you. I think the sleeves are a bit different on it, and it's got like a weird pattern going on. So, Dad, let me know if you are buying that shirt.
Talking of shirts, though, how sleek is a goalkeeper kit? That. The yellow one.
Like the bright yellow. Yes. Yeah. Have you also seen how the Juventus goalkeeper shirt is exactly the same? Have you seen that picture? How lazy have Adidas been, really, with some of these kits? The training shirt's exactly the same as Arsenal's, pretty much, with a slightly different pattern.
It's like that, literally, right, copy my homework, but don't make it obvious. Like, okay, just a few little tweaks.
It is. Change a few words every now and again. That's what we're doing. Dugout, make sure you go and subscribe to his channel. He says 110 watching. Go and smash that like button. United Way as well. John, make sure you go and sub to his channel as well. He's in the chat as well. But, I mean, there it says Adidas are done. They have become a bit lazy, haven't they, with the designs, I must admit. I mean, what would you say is the nicest shirt you've seen so far being released? The City, I think it's the away kit, isn't it? That you have to admit that is pretty smart. I think they've done a good job with that shirt. It's nice. Obviously, Liverpool have now got night kits, and I just feel like you get excited. Arsenal's kits last season and this season, I think the home shirt's quite nice. The away shirt, I think, looks like blood's being splattered on it. That's a bit weird, but at least Adidas have been a bit creative with the design and they've gone a bit outside the box. They've tried something, whereas ours just seems like you say, the copy. Yeah, they copied the blue one a few years ago and added the detailing. It's just, but like I say, I'm not mad on the shirt, but I don't dislike it. And so
I can't remember the last time I was really excited about a shirt. Don't get me wrong, I've bought it and I'm like, oh, it's grown, but I can't remember, like, in this era with Adidas, the last time I was like, oh, do you know what, that's good. And I keep asking for, I keep telling you, I just want a black on black kit. Just make the gold black,
like
black on black, please.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, it's this big gold logo. It's just so ugly. Have you seen it when people, you see lots of concepts and people do it on Twitter all the time and editing them, where even if it's just white, you've still got the big Chevrolet, but it's just white. It just looks
it's just like the outer line in white or the outer line in black. Just take the gold away. It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
We're still going to see Chevrolet. We know what it is by now.
Everton's a white kit. Anyone for orange juice? It does look a bit like orange juice, but I like the colours of it because it's like retro-y.
Yeah. I like retro.
I just think the sponsors are a bit crap, really, for Everton, aren't they? The sponsors are a bit rubbish, and I think that lets them down a bit. But in terms of the colour, I actually do quite like it. I like a bright kit anyway, to be honest. So, but Emma, Sancho, is he coming to United? What do you think?
I am 90% convinced. I already think that he's in the team. For me, he's already in there. But looking at it fee-wise, I see why we are stalling a bit on the fee, because what do they want, like 120 mil? And we are losing, like every home game that we have at Old Trafford, we are losing something like 4 to 5 million on merchandise, a home game. You know, that's a lot that we are losing. And same with other clubs as well. So at the moment, the market is crippling clubs, and I can see why we're trying to like lower it or give them so much and then so much a few months later or something, or when fans are allowed back into games. So I see it's hard, but I do 100% think he is coming. I think it's a done deal already, to be fair, but that's my opinion.
Love the confidence. Loving the confidence. To be honest, someone said Fabrizio was asked to come on my stream today. It wasn't the real Fabrizio. It's someone who was trolling, and definitely
Why do people do
a lot
that,
of you on strings. Got a lot of you on strings. But yeah, Fabrizio obviously has spoken about saying that we're in talks, and as long as we're still in talks, we got to stay positive. If the talks break down, that's when you start to worry. I still think it'll happen. I do think that we're haggling over prices. Like you say, after a pandemic, you can kind of see why we're doing that. But for me, like, it's a generational talent. You just go out and you just get him. Like, it's easy for me to say it's not my money, isn't it? But for me, I just think that that's a position that we really need to strengthen. And when you're looking across the market globally, Sancho is your number one. Sancho stands out as being the guy to take that place. So we should go all out for him.
And we've seen how much one player can lift the whole team as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, but just look how good we've looked going forwards, and imagine you add Sancho into that mix. We're just going to get better, and it's terrifying when you think about the prospects, the talent that we'll have going forwards. It's scary. You would not want to play against them, and so I'm just hoping that it does come through. Look, I'm going to say I'm quietly confident that the deal will happen. I'm not going to push any agendas and say it's definitely happening. It's going to happen at this time, because I don't know these facts. I'm a fan just like you guys, and I don't want to get sucked in. And my advice to you guys is do not believe it until you see him holding that shirt up, because so many people out there we've seen are trolling. So many people are trying to sell stories, and you've just got to keep grounded. I know it's exciting, and I do believe it'll happen, but I think you just make yourself mentally drained if you get too sucked into the rumours, because we're linked with every man and his dog every year. And it's a horrible, as a United fan, it's a horrible time of year for me, because yes, there's excitement, but also some of the names you get linked with and you start to believe it, don't you? You start to get sucked in, and I've learned not to do that. Meg is in the chat there. She's, guys, my girls, you've got you linked up through the car en route to football. Love that. Good luck with football as well, Meg. Yeah, love you, Meg. Hope you're doing okay. Hope the party was good for you as well. Hopefully see you in the semi-finals, and then we can compare shirts, says my dad. Hopefully no disrespect, Dad, but hopefully I don't see you in the semi-final. Hopefully we play Sevilla. Yeah, I hate playing against Wolves. I hate it. Don says about the Ronaldo link. I think we're linked to Ronaldo every bloody year. Anyway, I saw that after Juventus got knocked out of the Champions League, people were saying, oh, Ronaldo's leaving. Then that's come out and obviously deny that. But Sarri's just been sacked, which is interesting as well. I want to talk about Alexis Sanchez. Good riddance. Look, most people are saying he's gone. Obviously, he's joined into Milan. Do you think he's the worst signing we've ever had? I think financially he has to be up there as the worst signing, surely. Like what we were paying for him to walk his dogs, to play a piano, and I know it's been a running joke, but it has been a bit of a joke, hasn't it, Nicole? Do you think he's the worst signing we've ever had?
Like you said, I think financially I can say yeah, because because it's just like you just got loads of money and threw it at him. I just think it's... I don't really hold anything against him, though. I don't begrudge him. I just think it's one of them things. It didn't work out for whatever reason, but we all got sucked into it. I was so excited. I remember I was on a night out. I'd had a few cocktails or a few gins, and I seen the picture of his dogs and United top, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! This is going to be epic." We've done it before with like your likes of Di Maria and Falco, where it's never quite come off. But the thing is with Di Maria is since then he's been disrespectful, and I can say, oh, I didn't really like it. Whereas with Sanchez, I don't really dislike the guy. I just think it wasn't right for him. It wasn't right for us, and I'm grateful that he's finally free from us. We're finally free from him, and we're stopping wasting all that money really on something that doesn't fit in our team.
Yeah, big up to Stan, the man in the chat. Make sure you go and check out his channel. He's on Claude and the Bansters as well, so go and subscribe over there. Yeah, I think Di Maria, the way that he left, like you said, the way that he disrespected us afterwards, I had so much satisfaction from that clip where Ashley Young is pushing Di Maria off the pitch at Old Trafford.
I watch it on a loop.
Like yes, that is up there. Like what a moment that was, because he was just disrespectful. I get like his house was broken into. It was traumatic for his family. I get that, of course. It was a horrible situation, but the bad mouth afterwards, I think, was a bit low of him. So Di Maria. But then again, you say with Di Maria, I remember that goal against Leicester, that little chip he did. It showed at times the talent that he had. I was actually gutted that didn't turn out, to be honest with you. Alexis Sanchez, we signed him. He's obviously not the same player he was at Arsenal. It's like a shadow of his former self, isn't he? He went to Inter Milan. He hasn't exactly lit it up there. I think he's had a handful of good games. It's a hard one. I mean, Emma, what's your take on it? I think we can all the one thing we can all agree on is that we're grateful that he's gone because it frees up a lot of wages, surely.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think, like Nicole said, he came, it just didn't work out. He flopped. The thing is, he had 45 appearances, 5 goals, and only 3 being Premier League goals. And you look at the wages and what he's done, like someone who's come and promised so much and delivered so little in his with his wages. It's like, no, 3 goals.
It's not good enough.
It's I'm so happy that he's gone. It's freed up our wages. Don't we have to pay his wages or something to get rid of him though?
I think because he was on such an extreme wage. I don't know the exact deal, but he was on stupid wages, wasn't he? And I think to free that up, I think that's a good bit of business from us already. People won't see it that way, but I think that was a vital piece of business that we had to get done before we could get people in because he was on such a high wage. And I remember being at the Newcastle game when he scored the late winner, and getting so excited, thinking, "Is this Sanchez now finally hitting the ground?" And it just never worked out for him. I agree with Nicole that I haven't got any hate towards him. I just think that if I'm honest, I think he lost the yard of pace. He used to breeze past players. He couldn't do that anymore. And that's why he came show feet a lot. We didn't need a player who did that. We need someone who's going to be wide. And I just don't think he brought that. I think his best games for us, to be honest, were when he played through the middle. I think it was against Bournemouth and he played through the middle. And that was one of his better games in the United shirt. And we should have done that more, in my opinion. And I think him moving to Italy, we've mentioned before that it seems a slower paced game in Italy. And I think it'll suit him a bit better. But yeah, good riddance from a business point of view. I think like I say, it's a good bit of business at the start of the transfer window to free up those wages, and hopefully now we can start to get some players in. But yeah, I wish him all the best at Inter Milan. Not against us.
I wish him well.
Not against us, of course. But yeah, I'm glad he's gone because that's been going on for a long time now. We've been saying, is he staying, is he going? Ollie said, didn't he, that he'll come back and prove to us the player that he is. Obviously, that was a lie because that's not going to happen. But yeah, all the best. We move forward. I'm just hoping that, like I say, we get some incoming players now, Sancho being the first one. But talking
and
about tomorrow,
pianos.
Yes, no more pianos. There was smoke coming from Old Trafford recently, weren't there? And there's rumours that it's Manchester United burning every last piano in sight. Maybe that was what it was.
Smashing it up.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, Copenhagen tomorrow. I'm going to be totally honest here. I'm not going to act like I know much about them because I don't. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say that we should be beating them. For me, we're probably favourites in the competition now, aren't we? So we should be beating them. Are we going to go with our strongest 11? I think that's the question I'm going to throw to you guys. We saw a few changes the other day. Let's face it, that was an absolute dreadful game. I didn't tweet one thing about it, didn't do a video about it, because to be honest, there was nothing to talk about. It was a shocking performance, but it's one of them where you've made changes, the game was already won, so you don't get too worked up about it. But yeah, I mean, Nicole, how would you approach this if you were Ollie? Would you go with your strongest 11? Now, he mentioned, didn't he? He said at the time there's 4 games until a trophy. It's now 3 games until we win a trophy. Do you just play your strongest 11 now for the remaining 3 games?
For me, yeah, because this is it now. This is our last chance to loom for silverware this season, and the last chance for Ollie to pick something up now. And for me, that last game, it just looked like you just clunked loads of people together, and there was no harm. It's just a complete worlds away. So I know he wants to be cautious because we haven't got as much of a break as we usually have. We've got the Premier League knocking on the door, obviously. But I still think put your strongest 11 out, get the job done, and then take them off, as opposed to the other way around, because I think it's a lot more difficult to come back than it is to start on the front foot and then settle that. Do you know what I mean? But for me, it's 3 games. We should want to win it. We should be going all out. And when Ole was asked, I think he was asked De Gea or Romero, he said, I'm not going to say that Romero is the Europa League keeper, because all I want to do is pick the best team to win it. So I hope he puts his money where his mouth is. And he does just that, because I want to see us win something, not because we have to, but because we want to, because we're Manchester United, and it goes hand in hand for the players and the fans, and it sets us off on the right foot for next season and hopefully signings.
Yeah, I love this one. Don't get it twisted. It's knockout, we go big, or we end up going home, and that's the way that it is. Go big or go home. I agree. Go with the strongest. Meg agrees with that. She says, yes, these players need a trophy. Just need to get our first one as a team. I mean, Ollie, you'd say finishing third, 2 semi-finals, and then getting Europa League trophy. You'd have to say it's been a fantastic season for him. And I know we haven't
Not
played
that he's
well
been nominated for manager of the season.
Yeah.
A bit rude.
You know, I want to talk about it as well. I thought Ollie should have been there. And another manager, I mean, if my dad's still in the chat, I'm sure he'll touch on this as well. Nuno, for me, from Wolves, has had a great season yet again. Last season, he had a great season. I think he should have been in the running as well. I think he deserved a mention. I'm not saying he's going to win it. But when I saw the list, I saw Lampard in there as well as Ollie, and I'm like, okay. And then I'm seeing like Nuno isn't in there. And I'm thinking he's done a great job. Wolves obviously in and around Champions League place till the end. They're still in Europa League now. They could win the Europa League. And he's not even in with a shout as well. I think he was a bit, I don't know, I was a bit baffled by that. But we know it's like, it's agendas, isn't it? We know what happens. But Emma, do you agree with Meg on this when you go all out to get a trophy? Do you think that we play our strongest 11 now? There's 3 games. So when you look at it in that sense, 3 games, surely we can get over the line, can't we?
How I see it is definitely we should go out of our strongest team, which is why I was a bit weirded out when against Lassie started Maguire. There was no need to start Maguire, rest him. He put on Pogba and Martial. To me, going forward for Monday's game and their other 2 games, they need to be our strongest team. So against Lass, the game was already won, really. You know, we didn't really need to do much. So I don't see why he started Maguire and put Pogba and Martial on. Let them rest. Let them get extra rest for Monday, and so we can have our strongest team, so we can go out and get this and win this. So yeah, I think we have to go out with our strongest 11. But yeah, I was a bit concerned about him starting them because I thought there was no need. There was really no need.
Yeah, I think with Maguire, he's obviously captain, and I think Ollie's trying to instill that resilience that like Maguire obviously just is consistent. So he's the main point, and we're trying to build team around him. Is the way that I'm trying to see it. Not in terms of his talent, of course, and of course not that, but he's the leader, isn't he? And I think Ollie's trying to just keep that consistency where the younger players maybe can learn from Maguire's leadership. I don't know what it is, but I agree. I think it was a needless risk.
It's just hard.
In that game in particular.
He's played every single game. I think he should just have a bit of a rest. We had 10 Mengi on the bench. Do you know what I mean? We had good players. Just let him have that game rest. He's played every single game. And
to be honest, Jesse Lingard, I thought was probably the best player on the pitch for us. I know a lot of people will probably disagree, but for me, he looked sharp. He had a few little
credit where it's due.
Scored. Exactly. For me, he was one of the main ones that stood out, and that sounds like I'm really bigging her up. Don't get me wrong, we were absolutely shocking, so I'd stand out if it wasn't that hard. But I felt a bit sorry for him when he got took off. I thought if anyone needs the minutes, it's Jesse Lingard right now, and if anybody needs the confidence, it's him. And then he just scored and then took him off. I felt for him. I'm guessing the way that he would have gone about it is saying that we need you for the tournament, and he's trying to preserve him a little bit because he can be an important player for us. But still, like, I can see why Jesse Lingard was gutted at that point, and I was shocked when he came off. I wasn't expecting him to come off at that point. I thought he was one of our better players, but the Maguire one, I was a bit baffled. I do think it's just a consistency thing. I think that Ollie obviously wants to keep the captain consistent throughout. Maguire's obviously said that he's fit enough to play in that game as well. But just imagine if he'd have got an injury in that game. Like, that could have quite easily happened. There's no need for that risk, but luckily there wasn't an injury and we go on. But yeah, I did agree. I was a bit baffled by the Maguire thing. I thought someone else would have played, but it's one of them. And obviously Laird as well. A lot of people think that he should have been given a shot.
He wasn't even on the bench.
No, he wasn't. And Delo as well, I think, wasn't on the bench. Yeah. I want to talk about Delo because obviously a lot of people believe that is his time up now at United, to think that Ollie doesn't fancy him. I know that he's good friends with Bruno as well, isn't he, off the pitch? But do you think Delo has a future at United? Do you think he's just one of these where he's going to get eased in and eventually he'll get there? Do you think a loan would be good for Delo? Or do you think that we should sell him? I mean, in flashes I've seen going forwards in particular, I remember when he first started playing, he was whipping balls in for fun and there was no one in the box to attack them. But you could see he was positive, he wanted to do that. Defensively, I think he has come a bit unstuck at times. Nicole, I know this wasn't one of our talking points, but as usual, we go off topic a little bit. But Delo, do you think he's got a future at United, or do you think that's it, his time's up?
To be honest, I think that might be it. There's just certain times where I don't know what he's done to Ollie, or I don't know what's happened to him. But I'm like he should be coming in. He should be at least on the bench. You know what I mean? we've seen other players come on, even if it's just for 5-10 minutes, and we haven't seen that one. So, but to be fair, we don't know the reasons behind it. We could only see from the outside. Ollie might see it might be an attitude thing. I'm not accusing him of that because he seems like a proper good egg. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying it might be his attitude. There might be something behind the scenes. But if it continues like this, I would think for the player, he would want to move on anyway. And if Ollie isn't going to see a place from him in the future at all, then I don't see him putting him out on loan. I just see him offloading him. But that's not to say that if he kept him, I wouldn't be mithered. It's just my perception of the situation. I just can't see it happening right now.
So Darwin said there, Delo is miles better than Timbo. I think that for me was a big turning point. Like Delo, I was thinking, no, he'll have some time at United. He'll work his way through. They'll ease him in. And then Timbo had an injury, came straight back into the team, and you're thinking, well, he's just like literally leapfrogged Delo in terms of pecking order. And I was like, no, you can see Ollie doesn't fancy him for whatever reason. It doesn't strike me as an attitude thing with Delo. Twisted said there, Delo is a championship player. I do think a lot of it comes down to the fact that defensively, Delo, I think, is a bit weak. He's a bit vulnerable. But in order to get better, you need playing time. And I think that game the other day was a perfect time for him to get some minutes. And yet again, he hasn't made it. So you have to question whether he is going to have a future at United. Gaveltron said, wasn't he injured again? He did have a minor knock, I believe. And that's another worry, isn't it? He's had a lot of injuries. He's still young, and he has had a lot of injuries at the age 2. And Zabi, someone just mentioned, I think it was the Villa fan saying he said him to us. I know Villa fans rate him very highly. We rate him very highly. But we're also concerned about the amount of injuries. And these young players, if they're picking up injuries, that's obviously alarm bells, isn't it? So, yeah, it's an interesting one with Delo. Maybe a loan would be good for him, and maybe abroad somewhere to get some game time. I don't know if it's too early to sell him, but at the same time, if Ollie doesn't fancy him, then for me, you may as well get rid, because you need players who Ollie's going to trust and who's going to fit into his system. And if Delo doesn't, I think for his career, he may need to move on because he's young, like I say, and he's not getting much game time at the moment. And he's going to want to break into that Portugal team. So, yeah, it'd be an interesting one with Delo, but we shall see. But in terms of Copenhagen, like I say, I know absolutely nothing about them, but we should beat them. That's my thoughts going into this. At the end of the day, if you want to win a competition, if you want to win a tournament, you have to be the best doing it, don't you? You have to face them at some point. So for me, like, I would go with the strongest team that we've got. I think maybe after 60 minutes, if you're 2 or 3 goals up, then rotate and rest a few key players, do it that way. But as I always say, start with the strongest, get the game done, and then rotate after that. That's what I would do. I mean, Emma, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot now. I'm going to ask what your score prediction is, and I'm also going to say who do you think's going to score. And to help you out with that one, if we're going with our strongest 11, obviously Martial has been fine for fun. And can I just say, I saw Nicole tweeted about it, but the look that Martial gave to Ollie after he scored the other night, there's obviously a bit of, there's words before them when I went on, and I absolutely love that. As a striker, to see him having a bit of competition with the manager.
The difference in him is unbelievable.
Yeah, and you know what, fair play, he came on, he scored a goal. He's just on fire at the moment, isn't he? He's had a great season, Martial. I'm hoping he continues that form as well. But so I'm going to put Martial up there as one of my scorers, but I'll reveal my score prediction last. But Emma, what do you predict for Monday?
Okay, I'm going with a clean sheet. I'm going with 3-0. Martial to score 2 and Bruno outside the box.
So you think he's a worldie?
Yeah.
Just a screamer.
He has so many attempts outside the box. He's an outside of the box goal scorer, isn't he? So I think that he's going to get it on Monday.
Guys, make sure in the chats as well you're getting your score predictions. So Richard there says 3-0 as well. Martial 2, Bruno 1. Exactly the same as you, Emma. Love that. Twisted says United 5-1. A lot of people may know more than we do about Copenhagen. I'm hoping to see that kind of scoreline. I'm hoping a clean sheet, of course, as well. But I'd rather see us score plenty of goals. But Nicole, what are you predicting?
I don't really know.
It's hard. You don't know the opposition.
It's hard to predict something until you see it, and until I see how the management approaches it. But I'm gonna say 4-1. I would love to say a clean sheet, but because it's not a team that we play all the time, it's you don't really know what to expect, and that can be obviously used against you and go in their favour. So I'm gonna say 4-1. Tony to score, because when Tony smiles, we all smile. I think Bruno might get a cheeky one, and I would absolutely love Rashford to get 1 or 2 as well, because he needs it right now. And I just think that'd be a boost for the whole team. And talking of Rashford and Martial, I've seen there's been a lot of comparisons between the two, and I'm not a fan of it, me. I feel like players at the same team should just be appreciated for who they are. And I actually seen Rashford tweet, like, he does good, I do good, that's my friend. And I'm like, so off the back of that, I would love to see them both score, get a win. And I do want to see a lot of goals, but if we concede, it's not too bad, so long as we, knockout game.
I agree what you say about supporting each other. I saw that Rashford, we run together, we score together, whatever it was. It was like a really romantic cliche tweet, wasn't it? Bless him. But yeah, I think as strikers, I like the element of competition. They're pushing each other to score more. They're pushing each other. But the thing is, they're not selfish to the point that they're pushing each other, and they won't pass to the other one. Like, they're working together in conjunction. But obviously, there's a bit of banter between them, and I like it because it's just encouraging to get better. Emma, you've got a little visitor behind you. Hello.
Hey, mate.
But yeah, I think Martial is on fire at the moment. Rashford, I think he's yet to hit the ground running after lockdown. I think he has looked tired. If we're totally honest about it, I think he hasn't looked as good as he had done before his injury, before lockdown. I'm just hoping that with game time, with training, he will hit that level again.
Yeah.
I'm sure he will. But I think the way that him and Martial, like I said, the banter between them, as strikers, I like to see that. I mean, I used to play as a striker myself, and when you banter the players around you about who's getting top goal scorer, everything just strikes me as a healthy dressing room right now. Yeah. The way Martial turned to Ollie, the smile, Ollie's little giggle afterwards because he knew that obviously Martial had proved him wrong or whatnot. Like, I like it. Nick says, I love the comparison between Martial and Rashford. It's making them both better and hungrier. Exactly, they're pushing each other. I've seen this quite a lot. A lot of people comparing them to York and Cole. Do you two see that? Do you see the resemblance between York and Cole? You do?
I am slowly starting to see that, and it's so nice.
They link up, like you can tell they're looking for each other on the pitch. Like, they like to play fit into Martial's feet, for example, little 1-2s.
You do get that nostalgic feeling a little bit. You don't get too hyped, but you get, I don't know, there's something about United as of late, not the last Europa League game, but there's something about United as of late where you have, I don't know if it's just me, I'm getting these little bits of nostalgia and these little bits that are like taking me back, and I think that's showing that like an ex-player is the manager. I think that's where it becomes apparent.
Everyone's saying we got video bombed. Yeah, it does. It's fine. I think that, I mean, Doug said it earlier, Copenhagen is going to be a closer game than we think. At the end of the day, they've got this far in the competition. They're not going to be a pushover. However, we should have enough about us for me to get the better of them. So the 3-1 prediction I quite like, to be honest with you. I agree with that one. Sancho is a fan of Emma in the chat. There you go, Em. Tell him to sign for us. Tell him to sign for us. But yeah, I think we should have enough quality going forwards, I think, to get the better of them. Someone said in the chat, Harry Maguire header. I would like to see a Harry Maguire header, to be honest with you, because I'm sick of him winning the headers and they're just bouncing off in all directions.
On your head,
50-pence head at the moment.
From a corner, they've got it all right, and he just can't get it in the net. So yeah, I'm hoping he scores with a header as well.
He's got to get there eventually, surely.
He's getting there. That's how he's getting there, but it's just bouncing off in all directions. Proper 50-pence head. And it's like, what are you doing, Harry? Come on. They know what he's got slap head. Come on. But I'm sure he will score one eventually. I'm Maguna Terry. Make sure you go and subscribe to Paul and the Bansters channel. He says, morning, Sophie, Emma and Nicole. Hope you are all good. What's your opinion on the players Arsenal are linked with? Gabriel, Partey, Coutinho and Willian, and the Uber's new contract. I've seen a lot of people giving Arsenal stick about this Willian deal. If I'm honest, I've always rated Willian. I think he's a great player, and I think that he'll strengthen Arsenal. Will he be a constant starter? I mean, he's getting on now, to be honest with you, but I think he'll be a good... He strengthens your squad, definitely. I think he's a good player. He's scored some big goals, obviously, for Chelsea, so I think he's a decent one. If Aubameyang signs a new contract, I think that's great business as well, because I was under the impression that he may be leaving. He showed his quality in the cup final, to be honest. I think he's a good striker, and I think that him getting a new deal again is good business. Partey, I think he's a great player, and he's been linked with Arsenal for a long time now. And I think if you get him, he definitely improves your midfield. Coutinho is quality. Depends how much you're going to be spending on him, to be honest with you. But Coutinho, again, I think he's quality. If you're looking at Ozil or Coutinho, I know I won't be choosing definitely to be my creative midfielder. It would be him. And Gabriel, to be honest with you, I've got to say I haven't seen much about him. I know we've been linked with him as well. I know a lot of people talk about him very highly. But yeah, from Arsenal fans, it was all seemed doom and gloom. Obviously, the redundancies made recently as well. And a lot of people were ripping into them. But genuinely, I mean, the Willian one is the one that's obviously almost been confirmed. I think as a short-term fix, I think he definitely improves Arsenal. The current state of the squad at the moment, anyway, I think he'd be a decent signing for you. And like I say, Aubameyang, I think if he does get a new deal, I think it'll be great business. I mean, what's your girls' take on that? Aubameyang getting a new deal, Willian going to Arsenal. Emma, do you think that's good business?
Oh yeah, of course it is. It's really good business for them. I mean, like Aubameyang's probably like their best player, so for him to get a new contract would be amazing. I mean, like I said before, I would have taken him at United. To be fair, when all the rumors when all the rumors are floating around, I was like, yeah, I would take him. So do you know what? It'd be good business. And you know, if the players that they're linked to, do you know what? They'll strengthen their team. So you know, it is very, very good business for them.
Yeah, I think Willian, don't get me wrong, as a starter, it looks like he's getting on. But I'm looking at strength in depth. Obviously, also got Pepe, and then they've got kids basically. Saka, I think, is a very good player. Maitland-Niles is another one. Reece Nelson. They haven't got actual quality in depth, have they? So I think Willian would be a good signing as a rotation. I think he'd be happy with that role at this point in his career as well. And I think he'd be a decent signing for him. I really do. I think he scored some important goals. He's not getting any younger. I think for all parties, it's a short-term fix because Arsenal haven't got a lot of money at the moment. I think he's a decent signing. Rodman, thank you so much for the super chat. If there's any news regarding the ladies in red starting for a late night show, asking for a friend. To be honest with you, we haven't got a schedule, have we? I'll message every week and say, right, when are we free this week? Obviously, got commitments with children and whatnot. Not me. I've got Luna, a little puppy. You guys have got commitments with children. Yeah, she is my baby, to be fair. She is. But, yeah, I think we try and fit it in whenever we can, really. Obviously, it may be that next week we could do an evening show. But, yeah, it's just whenever the girls can fit it in. But appreciate you tuning in. Really do appreciate the super chat as well. Thank you so much for that. 182 watching. Well, let's have a like spike. Yeah, guys, hit that like button if you are.
Oh, not the spike word. No.
Yeah, I like spike. I'll take Corona spike.
Yeah.
No, but I like spike. We'll take that. Appreciate that.
Thanks,
Thank you for that, John. Yeah. Me and Emma. What's this one? Me and Emma. I keep telling her Bruno signing Skype her husband. Soph's trying to get Luna on camera. Luna's downstairs, to be honest with you, because she snores far too loudly. So if I have her in the stream, you'd hear in the background constantly. So she's downstairs, out the way, bless her. But she's good. She's doing well. Maybe I'll get her up next time and she'll do a little mini feature like I've done in the past.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
She is cute, to be fair. I am biased. It's my own dog, but she is cute. Sophie, do you think there's any chance of Wrexham making it into the Premier League? Not anytime soon, to be honest with you, but who knows? I was gutted talking about teams making it to the Prem. Did you watch the playoff final? And secondly, I really wanted Brentford to come up. I just thought it'd be really nice for Brentford to come up to the Premier League. I mean, Fulham, obviously, we've had them up there a few times. Craven Cottage, nice ground to go to. But I really wanted Brentford up there. Did you two watch it? And, yeah, how do you feel about Fulham coming up? I'll start with you, Nicole.
I didn't watch it. I was out with the kids. But I'm a bit similar to you. It's a bit just like more of the same, innit, really? I would rather have someone... I'm not saying that Fulham won't appreciate it, but I'd rather have someone that'll really, I don't know, something different, something to mix things up a bit. Yeah,
exactly. As a Wolves fan, I'm confident that we'll beat you if we meet us. We've dominated you in the previous matches. I hate playing against Wolves. And if I was a Wolves fan as well, I wouldn't mind playing against Manchester United. The way that the games have gone against them. Yeah, it's just we seem to cancel each other out, and obviously that Jota and Jimenez have just caused us nightmares going forwards, to be honest with you. I remember Jota bodying Luke Shaw. I remember that Phil Jones clip against Wolves. Have you seen it in slow motion when he's coming up and his face is in slow motion and he's pulling his usual meme face? Like,
that's Wolves, a 2020 face.
Yeah, it is. I hate playing against Wolves, to be honest with you. I hate it. But yeah, Emma, what's your take on Fulham coming up to the Premier League? I mean, are you happy with that?
Yeah, you know what? It's a great away day, isn't it? So I'm more than happy. Yeah, I didn't watch the game, unfortunately, but I am happy they're up. It's a great away game, so I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. Would you girls prefer United to do the treble or England to win the World Cup? Oh, you know what? Tournament football. We had it recently, and we're saying football's coming home. Like, there's nothing. You can't beat tournament football for me. Like, the way everyone gets the families round, those house parties. I remember driving home, everyone out in the town, just on the roundabouts, flags everywhere, like the passion. And the patriotism, I absolutely loved it, to be honest. Yeah. I loved it. So I think if we win the World Cup, like, let's be honest, like, it's very rare that happens in people's lifetimes. So I think I'm going to have to go for the World Cup on that one. I don't know if you guys agree. George agrees with me there. But to win the World Cup, like, you can only imagine. I mean, we literally made, what was it, the semis we made it to? And look how we reacted as a country. Just imagine if we were to win a World Cup.
How amazing was that summer compared to this summer?
What was that, sorry, Nicole?
I said, how amazing was that summer compared to this summer? We was having barbecues, we was around each other, we was touching people, not in a bad way. We was watching football, we was all getting drunk. Now you can't even like go to your mum's for a brew, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Good
imagine
times.
if there was tournament football, like it wouldn't have the same effect, was it? So I'm glad it's been put off to the next year. But yeah, I think I would normally go, obviously, England, to be honest, like, boring watching them. But tournament football is just something different, isn't it? And I think of late as well, when we've had some talent coming through for England, obviously Rashford's been playing, Sterling's been playing, Kane's been playing. We've had some good talent coming through. And we've actually become more exciting to watch again. I think for a long time we were just boring, and I hated the international break. I thought it was so poor, boring. Well, that's what I mean. It's tournament football is different. If it's just on a whole, I'd put Manchester United over England any day, because I just prefer watching United play to England. But when it's tournament football, when you're literally representing your country, battling against other countries to win a trophy, I don't know, it's something different about it. Yeah. And I just love it, absolutely love it. Matt says there, World Cup, I've already seen us win a treble. Of course, a treble would be nice. Of course it would. But yeah, exactly. Like, it's very rare in your lifetime you'll see anybody like your country lifting the World Cup. Just imagine that feeling. United Stand, big up to United Stand. Thank you so much. Obviously, go and subscribe over there. Fantastic content. Thank you for tuning in as well. Cracking show as ever. Keep it up. Appreciate that. And then it's Habit. Someone said there, he's going to Chelsea. He's definitely going to Chelsea.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that's another thing. Obviously, we mentioned Sancho and it's being dragged out. We still feel that deal's going to happen, but we don't believe it until they're holding the shirt up. But when you're seeing other teams do business, it does get you frustrated. It's hard not to get sucked into it. You've seen Chelsea doing business already. Obviously, they're linked with Havertz as well. And we need to be competing. So I think that's why people get passionate, obviously, and get wound up, because obviously we want to be competing. We want to shorten that gap between us and the top teams. And yeah, it is frustrating, but trust us, you have to just be patient. It will happen eventually. Good things take time. Breathe. Exactly. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it does drag out until after the Europa League. Maybe United just want to focus on the football for now, and then it's announced after that. Who knows? But yeah, we've got to go all out and win a trophy at the end of the day. And I think if Ollie finishes the season 3rd place, 2 semi-finals, and a European trophy, yeah, it's the Europa League. A lot of people call it a Mickey Mouse Cup, of course. But yeah, I think it's a trophy at the end of the day, and it's been a good season. We haven't played well at all times, but it's been a good season. But we've all said a positive scoreline. Who is, if you had to choose one team who you think, I've seen a few people in the chat saying Inter Milan, for example, Wolves, Sevilla is going to be a tough match. Who do you think the team to avoid or the team to look out for in Europa League then? Who's the one team who you think that they could beat us, you know? Who stands out? I'll start with you, Nicole, on that one. Who's the team that you dread the most in Europa League?
Wolves, because it's just obvious. Don't get me wrong, like in Inter Milan, of course, it's a bit nerve-wracking, but I feel like we know some of their players, and I feel like I don't know. I feel like fingers crossed we're destined for that final. I would really enjoy that. Whereas with Wolves, I wouldn't enjoy it.
Exactly.
I just feel anxious.
It's Mark, obviously, from United Stanley. Says, yes, lads and ladies, just watching me buy coffee and porridge. That's what we're going for. We're going for the Sunday morning vibe. Sancho Sunday, hopefully. But we're going for the morning vibe, chilling with a cuppa. And that's what it's all about. Just a nice, relaxed chat about football. Wolves or Sevilla. Yeah, Wolves, I just hate playing against Wolves. I hate it on a personal level, obviously, because of my dad and the banter that goes on between us two. But yeah, I just feel like we cancel each other out. It's one of them games. And like I say, Jimenez and Jota going forwards just always seem to cause us nightmares. They are a bit of a bogey team. But you have to beat the best to win the competition. I always say that. So if you want to win the competition, you've got to beat the best teams in it. And then you deserve to be champions.
And you can criticise the competition as much as you want, but if you're in it, you should want to win it regardless. You should never go in the attitude if we don't care. We need to start winning. There's no time like the present. Exactly.
Emma, who's the team? Do you agree? Is it Wolves for you? Or is it the fact that Inter Milan have got a lot of players, young, for example, Lukaku, even Eriksen from Spurs? They've got players, obviously, who have been in the Premier League, players who have been to United. I would hate to think like Lukaku would score a winner against us, for example. Yeah, and me in particular, after I ripped the shit out of Lukaku for ages, you know, I would just be like, oh, that's proper egg on my face moment and that. But that's the scenario that I'm dreading.
It's definitely Inter Milan or Wolves for me, but Wolves I dread more because an English side, we never do well against another English side in these sort of competitions. So that would be a team that I dread. Inter Milan, yeah, I think, I do feel like Lukaku could put one past us, but Imagine if we beat them. That would be amazing. So those two teams would be the ones that I would fear the most. But yeah, it's a hard one. It's a hard one. But like you said, Jimenez, they've got Jimenez, and he's such an amazing striker. You know, the Wolves have become our bogey team. So I think against an English team, that would be our hardest in the competition.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end, is it? If you don't win Europa League, but it'd be nice to win it. Of course it was. And I just think that every team that we face, it's almost like a cup final every game now. It's knockout football, isn't it? So we've just got to go for it. We've just got to go for it. Dugout, thank you so much for that. It's another fantastic show, ladies. Going from strength to strength. Some good ties in Europa League this week. Inter versus Leverkusen. Tie of the round. Yeah, definitely. That's going to be a massive game.
Yeah.
I agree. Mark's in the chat talking about Sancho. He says, trust me, Sancho will happen. Just can't give you the day because it's so close. You can touch it, but we know United can drag it out. I think it'll be fine this week. Yeah, I've got to agree with Mark. I've got a feeling that it will happen. Obviously, I'm sure Mark has a lot more intel than I have about it, but I feel confident. I'm just not getting sucked into it. I'm seeing people literally pulling their hair out on Twitter, and I'm thinking, just chill out, like calm down.
And leave Fabrizio alone. Let him breathe everything he tweets. Like he could, I'm going McDonald's, a McDonald's signing it. Do you not leave him alone?
Yeah, it's like, oh, the McDonald's logo's got red and yellow in it. That must mean it means Sancho to United. Like, people are just linking everything, and I'm just like, chill out. Like, yeah, I do believe that'll happen, like Mark says. I'm just not getting sucked into the hype around it. When he's holding that shirt up, we can finally relax. But until then, just enjoy it. Just literally relax and enjoy it.
Just imagine the moment when it happens. It's going to be an absolute buzz.
Twitter's going to go off.
I know.
Go off.
It is. It's going to be madness.
Instruments.
Reece says, the one team that I worry about is Sevilla, the Spanish team that has dominated this tournament over the years. However, we can do this. Great show, ladies. Thank you so much for that, Reece. In terms of Sevilla, we've got bad memories. Remember that game when we played against Sevilla at Old Trafford? Possibly one of the worst games I've ever seen us play. It was shocking. Bar the other night, of course, that probably runs it quite closely. But yeah, that was shocking. So yeah, look, at the end of the day, teams have got this far in the competition and not going to be pushovers regardless of who they are. We've talked about Copenhagen like they're nothing, but they've got this far for a reason. They're going to be half decent, aren't they? But like I say, I still think we should be good enough to get past them and beat them. Flawless is in the chat. Thank you. I hope you're good, Flawless. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, girls, as usual, this has been an absolute fantastic show. I've really enjoyed it. Rahul is spot on there as well. He says, I'm super close to 10k. If you are new, please do hit that sub button. I'm so close to getting 10k. And while United Stand are in the chat, I want to say a massive thank you. Obviously, I wouldn't have a channel if it wasn't for Mark and the United Stand. Always truly grateful for the opportunities given to me there. So thank you for that. And obviously, if you haven't subscribed to the United Stand, head over there as well. But as always, girls, massive thank you for coming on. And very early one this morning for us, anyway. I know some people are early. What, I've been up for 3 hours.
It is for us.
Yeah, for us it's quite early one, definitely. Nicole, if you just want to shout out and tell people where they can find you on socials.
Just here, United Just Stands on Instagram and Twitter, and don't forget to follow Real Ladies in Red also, because we're nearly at 2,000. There'll be another giveaway then. And just a quick one, want to say thank you from us all for getting nearly 12,000 views on last week's video, because we couldn't do it without your support. So thank you.
Exactly. It's just, I was blown away by that 12k. I was like, well, we've sent in our WhatsApp, we're so close to getting 10k and we were absolutely buzzing about it. And I saw it slowly going up on us.
And then the gift started. Oh my God.
yeah. But yeah, and girls, obviously it's a credit to you guys as well. I couldn't do this without you. So thank you so much for supporting. I love doing these Ladies in Red shows. It's just so easy just to sit and talk football, because that's all we're doing. No agendas, nothing like that. We're just talking about Manchester United and the team that we love and the sport that we love with the people who support us on the channel.
How good will it be when we can all get together and do it in the same room? It's going to go off.
Definitely, I agree. Emma, let people know they can find you, and obviously shout out your channel as well so people can go and subscribe there.
My channel is That United Family. Follow me on Twitter, xmrx88, and obviously follow the Real Ladies in Red account. Like Nicole said, we're nearly at 2k and we're going to give another giveaway.
Definitely got the other giveaway lined up already, so make sure you go and follow us, and anybody who's following us there will have a chance of winning it. Guys, all that's left to say is please hit a like on the video, subscribe if you are new and you enjoy the content, of course. If we have missed you in the chat, we don't do it on purpose. I will respond on the comments afterwards. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. Fingers crossed United get that win tomorrow. I'm pretty sure we will. Come on, United. And yeah, have a good one. Keep smiling, stay positive, and we'll see you very soon.